talking again? What's up, little buddy? What's up, little buddy? You have a couple of drinks and you get a little overconfident. What's going on?
Dealing with tough audience members. That is the pro tip talk this week. And I would like to know, first of all, have you ever had a spectator that you've just lost your patience with on stage, or when you're performing walk around, close up, whatever it is? Have you ever had someone just test your patience? Type yes in the chat. I want to see who else has had to deal with things like this, because there's always going to be people that are just too much. And we're going to dive into a little bit of this and find out maybe why are they saying what they're saying or doing what they're doing, or being a little too grabby with our stuff. And so Josh says, yes, if I've had audience members like that really tested my patience. I've definitely had that. Tim Ambrose also in the same boat there. Ken Dumb is swimming in the same ocean of that too, right? Yes, it definitely happened. Yes, exclamation all over. Yes, and kids as well, and some grown adults that act like kids, right? So we've all experienced people that we definitely have to test our patience. And that can be hard sometimes when we're paid to do a show. We have to continue. Whereas if you're doing walk around or strolling, if someone's really just in your way, you just cut it short and head the other way. That's the nice thing about strolling magic that I really like. So it's nice to see I'm not alone out there. So it's nice to see some of the people that have had that happen in the trenches act there. And as a bonus question here, how many people have you performed for that have tried to expose the trick? I want to see that in the comments as well. I don't know what, I had you say yes for that. So type in the word magic if you've also performed for people that are just adamant about trying to expose you and figure out tricks. If you have a special moment where someone has tried to expose your magic or try to show everyone that they're smarter than them, share the story. I will also bring that up. But that's a little bonus thing. So type in the word magic if you've also had people try to expose the tricks in real time that you're doing. I think the biggest mindset takeaway that we can get from this is not every spectator that is trying to ruin the show that you're doing or the performance. They're trying to be part of it in their own special way, right? They want to feel like they're important and matter as well, even though they paid or they're there to see you, right? Derek Bumpus says, yes, magic. People have tried to expose magic to the secrets. Same with Mr. Monk out there, Jeffrey Allen. It's happened. People just, they want to expose stuff, right? Larry says, I've had people Google tricks to try to expose them. I just don't understand. Tom Cracker says, yep, happens to him. Billy Effner, yep, people want to expose the tricks, right? So the difference is, though, with us as magicians, knowing that these things happen, right? We can either take it as a thing that we are frustrated by, or we can take it as something that we're ready for and ready to attack. There's a really good little booklet out there called, I'll have to find it, it's on our website. It's Precautions, Thoughts, Outs, and Precautions, I think, which actually helps you deal with hecklers. And I'll show you that in just a minute, because it is something I forgot that we even had. But here's a couple things you can use when these situations come up. You can redirect with magic. So you can basically change gears. You can use the magic as the misdirection. The trick you do is misdirection to get back on track. You could include them. You could bring them into the mix. You could bring them into what you're doing. So now they are part of the thing, which a lot of times hecklers, that's all they're looking for is that attention. So if you bring them in, it diffuses the problem, right? And you can also have some go-to lines ready to not go back at them, but just have ready to maybe lighten the situation too. Definitely make them light and funny and try to be as disarming as you can with those things too. So you can also shift the energy with a big magical moment. Change the subject with a visual moment of magic, right? You could redirect everything by bringing it all back to you. Manny DiMago does say, though, children are the toughest audience members, even though they say they know. It's the excitement that overwhelms them. So it's a lot of that with adults, right? It's that excitement of seeing something, wanting to be part of something. It's all that excitement, right? Magic, and they're wrong. So we're back to the exposure thing. I had a spectator say my cards were voice activated when they were changing. That's funny. People react differently, and I go with it and get them on my side. That's what it all comes down to, right? Is getting them back on our side. So you decide. And I would like to know which one you would do. 1, 2, or 3. Would you redirect the situation and move on to another trick? Just navigate that? Would you include the person with the situation that's going on? Or would you use some type of, I wouldn't say a comeback, but would you use a line, like a joke, or to try to diffuse the situation? So for you, let me know, 1, 2, or 3. You're going to redirect it, Number 2, are you going to include them? Or number 3, are you going to just be Gazzo and have a comeback line that just really has them see who the pro is? Or if you want to just avoid them altogether and ignore it, that's number 4. So if you want to just ignore them and pretend like you're not hearing what's going on, number 4 is for you. So 1, 2, 3, or 4. I forgot to mention that. So number 1, redirect. Number 2, include. Number 3, come back. Or number 4, just avoid them. Curious to see what our friends have to say here. It says, number 4, a lot depends on when in the show it happens. Sometimes you have to move on and not encourage them. That's true too. Derek Bumpus, number 2, I try to embarrass them a little bit by showing them they are so wrong. Jeffrey Allen, number 3, a drunk yelled out, make me levitate. I answered, you seem to be floating already. Good one, Jeffrey. So as I just mentioned, I have something to highlight this. And what I'm going to show you was it kind of spurred this topic today. And it comes from a Vegas headliner, Piff the Magic Dragon. So let's check it out.
Tracy, and, right, another and. Give me another and.
Where's the dog?
He's dead, sir. I can't believe you brought it up. It's such a painful subject for me. I've tried to move on after many years, but he's dead, sir. It's actually a big night tonight for Zach. It's his first ever speaking role in the show. Oh, wait, is that guy talking again? What's up, little buddy? You have a couple of drinks, and you get a little overconfident. What's going on? You just gonna leave? Thank you, sir. What's your name, little buddy, before you leave? Hey,
Just let him go.
John, we're gonna refund you, because your money would make me sick. Please do it and have a wonderful life. Alright, where are we going? Do you think he was here for the dog? That is.
So this was the perfect thing to show after some of the things we just talked about. Obviously, Piff performs in Las Vegas at the Flamingo. So there are a lot of people in the audience that are going to be intoxicated, maybe had a drink or two too many, and are a little more, vocal than they would probably normally be. One, he tried to include him by letting him know that the dog thing, Mr. Piffles, something that he's been trying to deal with. So it kind of put the heckler, make them look pretty much like an asshole, right? Because it was a touchy thing for him to begin with. And then he comes back later and starts speaking up. And yeah, Ken Dumb says that was awesome. Handled that perfectly. He really did, right? And not only that, but at the end, he's like, yeah, we'll give you your money back because it doesn't matter. We don't want your stinking money. And as he says too, and he kept the rest of the crowd on his side. You did hear, and you might have seen some of the pop-ups, people in the back saying, okay, get him out of here. If you have the audience on your side, then when things like this do happen, they're going to be against that from happening too. And a lot of times I've seen it happen where the audience tells the person to shut up because they paid money to be there. They want to see the show. This guy is stopping all that from happening. So again, this is Vegas. It's a little different from other places, but yeah, the Magic Castle has booze. Yeah, I've seen some people get a little too boozy in the Magic Castle for sure. So that's the true sign of a pro. At no moment of that clip did we ever see him stop or feel like he didn't know what to do or say. That's just from being on stage and going through it for years and years as a magician. And Hungover says, you're never going to win against someone with a microphone. That's true too. They kind of the last word, right? So that's very true. Think he went to Mike Hammer's show. Would love to see how Mike would handle. Yeah, would definitely handle that like a champ. No doubt about it. So, would say that before your next performance, your next gig, write out 2 funny but strong one-liners. And I believe Gazzo actually put out a booklet with one-liners, if I'm not mistaken. Keep them in your back pocket, keep them at the ready, so if something does come up, you'll be cool and in control. And I think that's exactly what we saw with Piff. He was very much in control of the situation. He didn't let him phase him at all. Just kept it moving, right? Tough spectators, at the end of the day, equal an opportunity for connection, right? Because again, the audience, sometimes when they're speaking up and doing the things we saw with Pip, they're wanting to be involved in the show in some way, as much as that doesn't make sense sometimes. It's just another chance to show the audience what type of performer you really are, professional that you are in action. And there's only one way to do that, and that's to be prepared and to be ready. And that's why we talk about tips like this. We are doing the shows here. And even here, sometimes the tech goes wrong and I have to keep things moving, just something that happens along the way. Sleight of tongue and mouth. I bought that book when I was a teenager. It's outdated, but it taught me that state of mind. Yeah, as we talked about last week, the weeks before, about connecting with audiences and slowing down and being prepared. These are all things, including tonight's things. Being prepared is what really helps us stand out from just another performer. All right. And as I mentioned on our website, there is a really cool and cheap, and this is a PDF booklet that I cannot recommend enough. And I totally forgot we even had this until I started doing the show tonight. Outs, Precautions, and Challenges is something I cannot recommend enough. This is not meant to cover every situation, but as I say, is the quote here, the information shared here is 100% the real work for close-up magicians. I get it, reading isn't sexy. But you know what? The material you'll find here sure is, and it really is. This is the type of material that will also help you be prepared for unexpected situations or challenges when you're doing the magic that you're doing. Especially, this is more for close-up people, but really recommend this. I had this as a booklet as a younger magician and fell in love with it. When I saw they converted it to the digital form, I'm like, I got to carry that. So that is our pro tip segment this week, dealing with a tough audience member. Appreciate you guys also joining in with the conversation tonight. These things are all things we try to help each other with. I'm just the one trying to bring up the topics each week. So thank you for your advice and input as well along the way. Knowing all your outs is essential to the professional. True that, my friend. True that. Ability to adapt and think on the fly is key. Yep, 100%. So there we go, friends. That is pro tips for this week.